how's it going? This is James P. White from 95.7 Cruise FM, The Locker Room. Welcome to the Jedi Jimmy podcast. This is episode number 33, Andor, episode number 7. The episode name is called The Announcement. Now, Cyril was actually trying to get a job through the help of his mom from his uncle. But then we jump to the response that the Empire had from the last episode was taxes on every system that has rebels, which is basically every system. And any tradition in systems will be revoked, and any conviction of any crime against the Empire has been increased by a lot. I'll point that out in a bit. Now, what they have decided is they've launched the Public Order of Recensusing Directive, which is called PORD. From my understanding, it's the equivalent of martial law. Now, Deidre made a lot of sense that the attack on Aldhani wasn't a robbery. It was an announcement that the rebels are here. And it's getting weird. Mon Mothma doesn't approve of the actions on Aldhani. The reason for the attack was for the Emperor to overreact and basically cause fear and pain on others. One thing that Luthen said that was kind of interesting is we can't hide forever being part of the rebellion. Now, Cyril applying for a job with the Bureau of Standards is basically the equivalent of quality control for the entire galaxy, making sure that each sector has the right quality of like fuel, or not only quality but quantity to meet up to the standards of the Empire. The next scene actually had a Star Destroyer that was sent to Aldhani, and where it was kind of on the sky. Quite cool, actually. Then Clea, she's actually the assistant to Luthen. She actually told Vel that now that he's done his job, that she has to kill him. And this is kind of showing the very dark side of the Empire. Now, one phrase that both Clea and Luthen used in this episode was very interesting. It actually said that when they were questioned on their tactics, they said, "This is what revolution looks like." It showed a very dark side of the rebellion. Remember, in Rogue One, Andor actually killed an ally to make it easier for him to escape. He also was asked by one of the rebel leadership to kill Galen Erso because he was part of the Empire. And that was in Rogue One, which is, again, 4 more years into the future. This episode was there was a major Star Wars character that was introduced. Colonel Wolf Yularen. Now, at this time, he's part of the USB organization. He's actually the leader. He's the tall guy with gray hair with the mustache that during the USB meetings was running them. But in the Clone Wars, he was actually admiral in the Republic Navy. In Star Wars Rebels, he actually helped Grand Admiral Thrawn try to take out the rebels, failed, but actually in A New Hope, he was actually a member of Grand Admiral Thrawn's command structure on the Death Star. But he actually, from what I understand, died when the Death Star was destroyed by Luke Skywalker in New Hope. Now Cassian goes to Ferrix to help get his mom Marva off the planet. Then we are introduced to Te Kalma. He's also from Chandrila, the same planet as Mon Mothma. They are friends. I think Te is actually part of the rebellion, but trying to keep it away from Mon Mothma without letting her know, because she's part of the Senate, and she wants to tell him that she's part of the rebellion, but also it's so complicated that it's awesome. But he's very secretive, but then Mon Mothma actually talks about the Grand Vizier. He's actually the Emperor's confidant. He's the guy that's got blue skin with the huge horns that was with him in the Revenge of the Sith, as well as, like, he is basically the interactive person between the Chancellor and the rest of the Senate. He joins meetings and all that kind of stuff, but I'm pretty sure he's a bit of a dick. So she's worried about that, and Mon Mothma actually knows that her driver is an ISB agent, so basically part of the Secret Service, spying on all the senators. But we are also introduced to the fact that Te is part of the Imperial banking, and I'm not sure if he's part of the banking clan from the Clone Wars, but they basically run the entire money of the galaxy. She is actually trying to gain access to her family's funds, dealing with the like, she can't get access to it. Like, her family has money. Now we skip back to Cassian, and he tries to get Bix to come with him, his girlfriend, or close friend that's a girl. He pays her back all the credits that he owes her and all their mutual friends, but she doesn't want to go. But one of the main reasons he goes back to the planet is because he wants to get Marva, his adopted mom, to go with him. So on Ferrix, if you remember from previous episodes, the Empire took over and it got horrible there. But she now wants to become part of the rebels. He hasn't told her that he's kind of part of the, like, very complicated. No one wants to tell all the details. But she brings up something that came up in an earlier episode where he's looking for his sister from Kenari. From previous episodes, remember, he was one of the kids on Kenari. He got stuck in the ship, and she found him and gave him a home, but he's still trying to find his sister. I respect that. If you don't know where your family are or what's going on, you need to find that. Now, next, we come up to Deidre. She actually has been put in charge of the investigation of the attacks by the rebellion on Ferrix and other areas because of her initiative. But she was also told to be careful, because watch your back. Now, they introduced the KX series of droids, security droids, and they all look very similar to a character we know from Rogue One, K2SO, which is Andor's personal droid. But one of the droids actually help apprehend him, and he's arrested on the planet of Niamos, and he's charged with acts against the Empire and troopers, and what would normally be a 6-month sentence is now a 6-year sentence. So he's going to prison because he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. He's part of the Rebel Alliance, but he didn't do anything at that point. So he ends up going to jail. So my favorite quotes of this episode, episode 7 of or I'll give you all my favorite quotes. Episode 7, Mon Mothma. I show you a stone in my hand, and you missed the knife at your throat. Episode 6, Vel says, one path, one choice. We win or everybody dies. Intense. Now, episode 5 is, Skeen says, the axe forgets, but the tree always remembers. Now, I'm going to give you a breakdown of my previous predictions. Mon Mothma, one of the leaders of the Rebel Alliance. I said she was going to be in the next episode, which was episode 4. I was correct. And I said in episode 4, I said we could possibly see Lando Calrissian or a younger version of Han or Chewie, since this is 5 years after the Solo movie. That hasn't happened yet. Agent Callants may appear from the Rebel series. Hasn't happened yet, but it's still going to happen. I also said the attack was going to happen in episode 5, but it didn't happen. But they were preparing for the attack in episode 5. In episode 5, I said the next episode will be an attack on the base, and that happened, baby. Intense. Episode 6, Andor goes back to the group. I don't think that's going to happen because Vel was actually asked to kill him. So Andor's on the run. Also, I feel that this series, the Ghost and the Rebels will be involved. Not yet. I'm hoping it's this season. It might be next. And finally, in episode number 7, Mon Mothma will officially announce the formation of the Rebel Alliance. That's going to happen in season 2. Cassian will escape the prison, but in the escape, he will actually reprogram a droid of the same type as K2SO, and he will be K2SO in the future. I look forward to seeing you next week in the next episode. I'll see you then. I need to show a huge shout out to my sponsors. First of all, for the Dean Blondell Network on deanblondell.com, and of course to my buddy Army Chris and Fire for Effect Productions, who helps me do all this stuff with the cameras, mics, green screen, all that. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you next week. May the Force be with you, always.